Today we're going to introduce the concept of variables in JavaScript. A variable is a container that holds a value. Let's take a look at an example. Let our greeting equal hello. Here in our example, we've declared a variable called our greeting, and we've set it to the value of the string hello. We declared our variable with the let keyword, followed by the name that we choose to give our variable, then an equal sign, and then the value that we want the variable to contain. Let's declare another variable. Let favorite number equal 5. So once again, we've got the let keyword, we've got the name that we want to give our variable, we've got our assignment operator, the equal sign, and then we have the value that we want our variable to hold. In this case, the favorite number variable will hold the value of 5. So now that we've declared some variables, we have the ability to pass them to other parts of our program. Let's pass our greeting to the console.log function. We're calling the console.log function, and we're passing our greeting as an argument to that function call. Console.log is a function that's going to print out to the terminal window any value that we pass to it. Now if we run our file in the terminal, we should see printed out the value of our variable, our greeting, and that happens to be hello. Now because we've declared our variable with the let keyword, we have the ability to reassign the value of that variable. So let's go ahead and type out our greeting equals I'm inside the computer. Here we omit the let keyword because we've already declared our variable here on line 1. Here we're simply reassigning the value of that variable. Here we're reassigning the value of our greeting to the string I'm inside the computer. Let's go ahead and move our first console log statement right here directly after we've declared our variable. And after we reassign the value of our variable, let's go ahead and call console.log again. Now, if we run our file in the terminal, we should see two things logged out. We get our first log statement, which logs out the initial value that we pass to our greeting when we declare the variable. And we also get a second console log statement, which is the value that we reassign to our greeting. And lo and behold, we get hello and I'm inside the computer. We can also use the const keyword to declare variables. When we do this, we're declaring a constant. So let's go ahead and type out const items in dozen equals 12. Here we've declared a constant called items in dozen. We've assigned it to the value of 12. Now when we declare a variable with const, we're declaring a constant, and JavaScript will not allow us to reassign the value of this variable. Oftentimes there are times when we don't want to change the value of our variable, and we want our program to guard against this. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what happens if we try to reassign the value of items in dozen. So let's say items in dozen equals 13. Let's go ahead and run this in the terminal, and you'll notice we get an error on line 5 of our program. We get type error assignment to a constant variable. So now we've written some code that throws an error. JavaScript is telling us exactly where in our program that error is occurring. It's occurring here on line 5 of our index.js file. And it's giving us an error message, which is a description of what is going wrong here. So we get type error, assignment to a constant variable. It's JavaScript telling us that we're not allowed to reassign to a constant. Let's see what happens if we try to write code after this point. Let's go ahead and put in a console log statement, and let's pass in the string after our error. Let's go ahead and clear the terminal, and let's run our file once again. You'll notice that we get the same error, assignment to a constant variable, on line 5. And we don't actually get our console log statement printed out to the screen. And this is because JavaScript never actually reaches our console log statement. JavaScript is going to go line by line reading through our program. And once it encounters an error, it's going to stop execution and it's going to print that error to the terminal. Alright, now a little bit on best practices when using variables in JavaScript. A variable name should describe the value that it holds. There are going to be times when you or someone else will have to read your code and you'll need to understand what it's doing. You want the variable name to be descriptive enough so that way there's no confusion about what the variable holds and the role that it plays in your program. For example, let current day of week equal Tuesday. Here I've declared a variable called current day of week set to Tuesday. If I'd never seen this program before and I was reading through some code, I would be able to quickly read the variable name and know that it probably holds some information about the current day of the week. Generally, your variable name should also contain only letters, no numbers or other symbol characters. You'll notice that in these examples, I use a particular convention referred to as camel casing. With camel casing, the first word in the variable name is all lowercase, and the subsequent words have the first letter capitalized. For example, our greeting has our in all lowercase, and the G in greeting is capitalized. Alright, so that concludes our lesson on variables in JavaScript. Feel free to watch it again. This is a key foundational part of programming, and the next lessons will all build on these concepts.